We begin with the fallout at the Department of Corrections in response to parolees disappearing from a halfway house in Salt Lake City.
We do have team coverage of today's developments. News specialist Alex Cabrero spoke with people living near the Fortitude halfway house. But
we begin with Nicole Vowell, who tells us 2 administrators have now resigned. Nicole?
Mike Dini, those people are the head of adult probation and parole statewide, also the head of the department for Salt Lake, Summit, and Tooele counties. Their resignations come amid criticism and a brand new call for a major review from the governor.
We want to review every policy we have when it comes to criminal justice, and corrections ought to be under constant review to see if it's working or not working.
And that investigation is already underway tonight. It will include an audit of internal controls, arrest records, and communication processes between law enforcement, the courts, and state parole officers. It will also look closely at parole facilities like Fortitude Treatment Center, the same place several felons walked away from in the last few weeks, including Corey Henderson, the man who shot and killed Unified Police Officer Doug Barney. Tonight, I also talked to a reformed prisoner, a man who spent time inside Fortitude Treatment Center, someone who wanted to turn his life around but said there it was nearly impossible.
It just turned from bad to worse. I mean, it was easier to get drugs in Fortitude than it was to get them out of Fortitude.
Now, for safety reasons, I will not be identifying this man, but he says drugs were one of the many problems he witnessed while he was there. He also talks about how easy it really is to come and go from the facility without any real supervision. I'll have much more on my in-depth interview with him tonight, coming up on KSL 5 News at 10. Back to you.
Yeah, certainly a lot to dig through tonight. All right, look forward to your report later on. Thanks, Nicole. Deanie?
The Fortitude Treatment Facility has been a major focus this week because of those walkaways. News specialist Alex Cabrero continues our team coverage live in the newsroom. Alex?
Well, Deanie, we spoke with some of the people who live near Fortitude. One person told me he's not worried at all about the facility being there. Another person told me she is absolutely scared with all the recent walkaways. Now, we all understand these facilities have to go somewhere. And here along the Wasatch Front, we counted 5 of them, 4 clustered together here in the Salt Lake Valley, all the way north to one off Watertown Way up there in Ogden. Now, those we spoke to who live near Fortitude say they hope the governor's announcement today makes them safer. 55 years is a long time to live in one neighborhood.
No, it never was like this.
But it's plenty of time to see things change.
At night, we're afraid to open our doors. So, because you never know what to expect.
This woman didn't want to be identified, but says ever since halfway houses, rehabilitation facilities, and a jail were built near her home, she just doesn't feel safe.
It's scary around here.
And with recent news about offenders walking away from the Fortitude Treatment Center, a block away from her front door, she says it's scarier than ever.
Public safety is most important.
Rollin Cook, the executive director of Utah's Department of Corrections, says he understands the concern, but says these types of facilities have to go somewhere, and not everyone here commits another crime.
But we have to have places like the Fortitude Treatment Center for these folks to be able to roll out to be able to give them the opportunities to find jobs and to reacclimate into the community.
I don't have an issue with it, so.
John Longman's business is less than a block from Fortitude and feels the neighborhood isn't any worse because of them.
I haven't had any problems with them. I've just seen them walking up and down the street every once in a while, but no concerns on my end.
The woman we spoke to understands the need for halfway houses. She just wishes they would have been built somewhere else.
I think they should have facilities like that, not in neighborhoods.
Now, there was a surprise inspection at that Fortitude address this past weekend involving more than 100 officers. 21 offenders were sent back to jail for parole violations, including 9 who went back to prison for testing positive for drugs or they didn't cooperate with that search. Deanie?
All right, Alex, thank you. We have some